Now on CoastTV News.
Animal cruelty arrests. What animal control found at one Worcester County home.
Lighting up Lewis maybe differently. How the city is looking to fix light pollution issues.
Travel trends. What you need to know if you're taking to the roads or the skies. A huge fire in central Delaware. What led to this at a large storage facility?
Stormy skies ahead as we prepare for a rainy and windy situation for our first alert day, which will kick off tomorrow afternoon and evening.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Finding another way to illuminate the city of Lewis. Good evening, I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with an effort to see the stars in downtown Lewis. The city's environmental subcommittee is looking to find ways to cut down on the beach town's light pollution footprint. Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert shows us how lighting up may look different.
These are some of the proposed changes to lights around the city of Lewis. The city's environmental subcommittee is preparing an ordinance that would change the way lighting is handled to cut down on light pollution. Committee member Melanie Moser says the impacts of light pollution are far more than just visual.
The wonder of the Milky Way is not evident anymore unless you're in Utah somewhere. The lighting at night has affected animals. Migrating birds get disoriented. Animals that depend on the dark can't find their way.
Moser says the lighting could also cut down on cost as pollution-sensitive lights would use less energy. She also added there would not be an effect on safety. Michelle Buckler says light pollution has had an impact on her business.
I own a Delaware nature shop, so I do photography, and so nature is foremost in my mind. It does disturb a lot of the natural rhythms of our wildlife.
The committee is still ironing out the final details on this ordinance as the future of the city starts to illuminate. There is another discussion on the Dark Skies Initiative here in Lewis on December 4th. If this ordinance makes it past this committee, it will then have to pass the city's planning commission and then city council. I'm Charles Reinert in Lewis, Coast TV News.
And now let's take a live look outside into Rehoboth Beach. You can see the boardwalk there. Nobody's out and about, maybe because it's late, maybe because it's pretty cold tonight. Our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, joins us now with a look at our weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. By this time tomorrow night, we'll be not talking about how chilly it is, but how rainy and windy and stormy it actually might be. So we're watching out for a first alert day for Tuesday. But today, we warmed up to 49 degrees, well below the 57, which is the norm for this time of the year. 35 for the low. Even though it kind of felt chillier than usual today, actually it wasn't that far off the mark, only about 3 degrees below the norm for this time of the year. So we had 31, the starting point in Salisbury. It's a little bit cooler there, actually. Here's a look at our Royals Plus camera right now. We're holding at 48 degrees, and as far as the rest of this evening is concerned, we're expecting increasing cloud cover, particularly by the time we hit the early morning hours, and temperatures staying in the mid-40s. Now, I mentioned that we are going to have a first alert day. That's true. We're looking for very gusty winds and torrential downpours in some isolated pockets. We'll talk about that and pinpoint that with the latest forecast coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Mallory.
Thank you, Paul. New tonight, 2 arrests have been made in an animal cruelty case in Worcester County. The sheriff's office says Kiera Sturgis and Lamond Williams of Pocomoke have each been charged with 36 counts of animal cruelty and animal neglect-related charges. This comes after animal control found a crate of 2 dogs on their porch, one living and one that had passed away. The sheriff's office says 2 more dogs were found emaciated inside the home with no food or water. The agency says that the surviving dogs are in the custody of Worcester County Animal Control and being treated by a veterinarian. Funeral services for former First Lady Rosalind Carter are set for next week. In a post on X, the Carter Center said ceremonies celebrating the life of the former First Lady will take place from Monday, November 27th through Wednesday, November 29th. Public visitation will begin next Monday. A tribute service with invited guests will be next Tuesday. Then a church service for family and invited guests will be held in Georgia. The interment will be private at the Carter family residence. Mrs. Carter died Sunday at the age of 96. Dr. Bradley Layfield, the principal at Sussex Central High School, who has been on administrative leave for months, has now been fired. This comes after a lawsuit was filed by a former student against the principal and others. 18-year-old Anaya Harmon claims Layfield shared surveillance video of a school fight with other faculty members in which her breast was exposed uncensored. Layfield has been on leave for months. Layfield's attorneys have said the reasons given for his leave and firing are false and defamatory. Well, this year is expected to be one of the busiest for Thanksgiving travel. More than 55 million Americans are expected to fly or drive to their destination this week, according to AAA. Jen Sullivan explains the FAA's plan to ease travel woes for airline passengers.
If you're flying this Thanksgiving, expect packed airports.
The skies will be extremely busy this Thanksgiving.
The TSA predicts more than 2.5 million passengers will fly each day, with the most travelers on Sunday. And those long lines could be met with a shortage of staff, particularly a lack of air traffic controllers.
The shortage is a big problem.
The FAA estimates air traffic control across the country is understaffed by 3,000 positions, and it's due to a variety of issues.
Controllers are retiring when they reach age 50 or mandatory retirement at age 56.
Another hurdle is how long it takes to train air traffic controllers.
It is a very, very rigorous process.
So the FAA is teaming up with colleges that offer specialized programs in this field.
This will allow successful graduates to move quickly directly into on-the-job training at facilities.
And while that may not help curb delays right away, it will help fill those positions over time. But don't worry, the FAA and TSA are taking immediate steps to prevent snags in the skies this week, like temporarily expanding flight routes by allowing commercial airlines to fly in zones typically reserved for the military. If your flight does get delayed, remember, you do have rights as a passenger. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
AAA says most people will drive to see family and friends for the holiday. MDOT says drivers on Maryland's highways should expect congestion tomorrow through Sunday. The department says travel during off-peak times if possible. To help ease some of the congestion, the State Highway Administration says it will suspend lane closures for non-emergency road work in Maryland from 5 a.m. Wednesday, November 22nd through 9 p.m. Monday, November 27th. And remember, you are required to move over for all stopped, standing, or parked vehicles. New at 11, Maryland state troopers are cracking down on impaired, aggressive, and distracted driving this Thanksgiving week. The agency says saturation patrols start Wednesday. You can expect to see more troopers on the roads that have seen a lot of DUIs before. The agency says enforcement will be focused on routes 50 and 13 in Wicomico County, and DUI enforcement will be seen throughout the Worcester County area with an emphasis on West Ocean City. That being said, Marylanders can get $20 towards their next Uber or Lyft Wednesday at 9 a.m. Visit zerodeathsmd.gov/rideshare to get the credit. That can be used after 4 p.m. Wednesday. Marylanders are limited to one $20 credit, and it will expire 24 hours after being added. Funeral services for beloved senior probation officer Todd Mumford will be held Saturday. The viewing begins at 9 a.m. at Crossroad Community Church in Georgetown. Mumford unexpectedly died in an off-duty accident last week. He had a 29-year law enforcement career.
I'm Madeline Overturf. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. One firefighter was hurt after a fire in Felton. Take a look at these photos. The Delaware State Fire Marshal says a faulty engine of a truck inside a storage unit caused the fire, which spread to surrounding combustible materials. This was Saturday afternoon at the J&J Contracting Storage Facility. Starting Monday, the City of Cambridge will do code enforcement via foot patrol. The city says it provides a different perspective for officers. It will happen 3 days a week and in 3 different city wards per week. Starting Monday, Assateague's Bayside Day Use area will be closed. The closure extends to Camping Loop C. It's to repair the parking lot, but the National Park Service says it should be open 2 to 3 days later. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
The nation's summer capital has transformed into a holiday wonderland, and the goal is to bring people out and open wallets up. Unlike years ago, many shops in Rehoboth say they're staying open in the off-season, and the holiday spirit is so important for them.
So coming into the downtown in the holiday season, for one thing, there's great things here. There's a tree, there's the decorations. It really puts you in the spirit, but also it's healthy for the town overall, so that the town is exciting and interesting in all seasons, not just the summertime.
Supporting those businesses during the holidays allows them to stay open in the summer. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your preferred way to support local businesses? Let's take a look at the updated results. The majority is still buying products. That is at 85%. Maybe you'll go check out the Wonderland in Rehoboth Beach to shop from some of those local businesses. 12% say they attend events. 3% say sharing online. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttvnews.com or on our mobile app. Finding a random vase of flowers in the park may sound unlikely, but if you're passing through a coastal town and come across just that, don't be too surprised. The owner of Friendly Flowers in Milton is purposely leaving bouquets for people to find. This is part of an initiative called Lonely Bouquets that he hopes will lift spirits in coastal communities.
With people losing so many things or having to work so much, we think it's a good time to try and help boost local morale.
If you want to distribute Lonely Bouquets, contact Friendly Flowers in Milton. We have a lot more to cover on Coast TV News at 11. The White House receives its 2023 Christmas tree, what we know about its roots, and the plans for its display.
Cloudy chaos is coming and will arrive as steady showers along with whipping winds move in our direction. Your updated forecast is coming up next.
But first, packing meals for those who have none. How the Milton Food Pantry is tackling food insecurity at its new expanded facility. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
This year, share all the love you have during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event going on now through January 2nd. With every Subaru purchased or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to one of these 5 charities and an additional $50 when you choose your hometown charity, plus $5 for every routine service performed. Make the most of the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event and start changing lives in your community together with Gateway Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, celebrate mom moments with heartfelt and fun stories. Plus, we're trying ice cream flavors that's inspired by Thanksgiving sides. Plus, stay safe with essential self-defense tips. Coast Life tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
I'm Dr. Hamed.
You don't give up.
Not even a hurricane could move me.
Transplant, Thursday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
With Thanksgiving just a few days away, the Milton Community Food Pantry was hard at work stuffing cars with holiday favorites for those who have none. Since there was an anticipated larger need in the community for food ahead of the holiday, more volunteers are helping hands like Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester and Representative Stell Parker Selby. They got to work at the new facility off of Union Street Extended. The president of the pantry says over the last couple of months, the food pantry has served about 100 families per distribution. However, today that number almost doubled.
If you've gone to the store recently, you know how expensive it is to buy food. Well, to pay for a Thanksgiving dinner, you're talking about a couple $100s. So a lot of people that we don't see all year round will come for some help during the holidays.
The food pantry says they are always looking for donations of food or grocery gift cards to help meet demand. Donations can be dropped off on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. New tonight, the White House has its 2023 Christmas tree. First Lady Jill Biden received it earlier today. The 18.5-foot Fraser fir is from Fleetwood, North Carolina. When fully decorated, the tree will be on display in the Blue Room.
Dangerous storms are rolling through the Gulf Coast and the South, threatening damaging winds and hail and possible tornadoes. It's one of multiple storm systems that are now on track to potentially throw a wrench into the busy holiday travel week. Laura Aguirre has more on the forecast and your rights as a traveler when it comes to delays and cancellations.
Travelers should be checking with their airline directly for the most up-to-date information about their flights.
Solid advice whenever you're flying, but even more important this week. Severe weather across large parts of the U.S. threaten to snarl holiday travel plans. Powerful rainstorms over areas of the central U.S. are rolling toward the Midwest, and thunderstorms over parts of the Gulf and southern regions could bring tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail throughout Monday night. To navigate the impact on air travelers, the National Weather Service is positioning meteorologists at 22 FAA centers.
They provide down-to-the-minute weather predictions for exact arrival and departure routes in the busiest parts of the U.S. airspace.
The Department of Transportation says it's been working closely with airlines to ease the cost of trip delays on travelers.
Now, almost all of them guarantee hotels and ground transportation, and all of them guarantee covering meals. If your flight gets canceled or significantly delayed for any reason, I want the traveling public to know that you are entitled to a full cash refund if you choose to take that refund rather than a rebooking.
And that's good news, given forecasters predict by Tuesday, rain and snow could be hampering air and highway travel across large parts of the Midwest, New England, and East Coast, from D.C. to Atlanta.
We will be using every tool at our disposal to keep cancellations and delays as low as possible.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And in alignment with that story, listen, we're tracking that same system that's causing problems throughout the Mid-South. Well, now that's going to be easing its way towards us, and that's what we're watching out for, possibly affecting us by tomorrow night, particularly going into late night tomorrow night and going to Wednesday morning. TriTech camera right now. We're holding at 48 degrees with the winds now shifting directions coming out of the east at about 13 miles per hour. We're going to start seeing an increasing cloud cover as we go into the early morning hours. Now, we're still very calm for right now, not an issue for tonight, but we are picking up on some concerns for winds. For example, we actually have a gale wind watch in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning from Slaughter Beach over down towards Broadkill Beach. Now, the same gale wind watch is also extended from, let's say, Lewis, Rehoboth Beach down to Indian Beach, but that's going to stay until about 6 o'clock Wednesday. So notice the bad weather hits us Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. Same holds true for us with Ocean City, North Ocean City, as well as West Ocean City, all the way down towards Chincoteague. So that's what all this pink is about right here that we're highlighting as that storm system begins to move out of the west to move in our general direction. Right now, we're cooling off quickly. I mean, we're at 32 degrees in Redden right now. We're at 35 in Greenwood, 37 currently in Seaford as well as Delmar, but we're in the 40s, upper 40s along the coast. So big difference between the two. Our fishing forecast, by the way, today was fine, but tomorrow is going to be cautionary, and Wednesday, not good at all, particularly in the early morning hours. But it's going to be good for Thursday and Friday, just in case outdoorsmanship is your thing going into the Thanksgiving weekend. So for Tuesday afternoon, that's when everything just hits the fan as far as the rain is concerned. Scattered showers and the winds coming out of the southwest. We're looking for continuous pelting of moderate to heavy downpours for Tuesday night, going into early Wednesday morning at about midnight. Now, midnight, 12:30 is when I'm expecting the first of two strong waves to push through. The first wave hits at 12:30 in Georgetown, Millsboro, Selbyville, Fenwick Island, and Bethany Beach. The second wave hits at about 4 o'clock, and the models have been all over the place. At first, it was indicating down in Bethany Beach, but now it's saying up towards Milford area by 4 o'clock. But regardless of that, we're looking for two main waves at 12:30 and at 4 o'clock in the morning to move throughout the area in general. Now, the amount of rain has stayed pretty consistent, about, let's say, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain for most of the area in general, and the winds racing out of the southeast by Tuesday evening at 11:30. We're looking at 40-mile-per-hour winds. And then winds will shift dramatically in a different direction by the time we get to Wednesday. But the rain and all that bad weather should be over by then. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. First alert day for Tuesday, but then after that, going into Wednesday morning, we should come to an end of that. Clear weather for us on Thursday. Friday's going to be clear. Saturday's going to be clear with sunshine, but way colder with a high of only 47 degrees.
Thank you, Paul. Healthy holidays coming up on Coast TV News at 11. How those with diabetes can safely enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. And next, Dewey Beach Canine Update, the Chiefs' take on the relaunch of the unit and when you can expect them to be sworn in.
It's that time of year again, America. So let's light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Choose from a large inventory of Ford vehicles equipped with technology, space, and flexibility for any season. Get special offers on our adventure-ready SUVs or on our great selection of Ford trucks and make the holidays bright with Ford. Now, get 1.9% financing for 60 months, plus up to $1,500 bonus cash on select Ford SUVs.
New updated COVID vaccines are now available. This updated COVID vaccine protects you from the Omicron variant XBB, currently one of the most common variants. No matter how many previous vaccines you have received, you should get the new COVID vaccine. Antibodies from previous doses may have gone down, no longer providing protection. Everyone 5 years and older should get one updated COVID vaccine. Those 6 months through 4 years should get 1 to 3 doses, depending on previous doses and manufacturer. Evening and Saturday appointments are available. Call La Red Health Center today.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
Black Friday is now at Vernon Powell.
Save 20% off a huge selection of footwear.
Like Hey Dude, Crocs, Extra Tough, Born, and Keen.
And over 2,000 pairs half off.
Take 20% off work boots. 20% off a huge selection of running shoes like New Balance.
20% off apparel.
Like North Face, Hook, and Carhartt.
20% off handbags. And Vera Bradley doorbusters up to half off.
Plus, more doorbuster deals through Cyber Monday.
Shop early for best selection and support local business.
See all in-store deals at vpshoes.com.
K9 Jasper of Dewey Beach Police is giving out some kisses. As seen here, the relaunch of Dewey PD's K9 unit has been successful, says Chief Constance Speak. She says there's been an overwhelming amount of support and the 2 K9 units will be officially sworn in next month. New tonight, Congress is demanding answers about Live Nation and Ticketmaster's policies. A Senate subcommittee issued a subpoena to the entertainment company saying it has refused to supply documents about its business practices. Live Nation and Ticketmaster grabbed some unwanted attention last year when many concert goers had trouble accessing its website to get Taylor Swift tickets. Senators grilled Live Nation's president during a hearing in January, but the senators say they still have more questions and want the company to comply. The new National 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which millions of people turn to for support, is struggling to keep up with demand. That's concerning this time of year as the holidays can also spark mental and emotional crisis. Experts say the problem comes down to the absence of mental health resources, a lack of awareness, and not enough stable funding. Coming up in sports, we hear from a hero of UMES's men's basketball this weekend on how he helped the Hawks to their second win of the season. And next, where you can run off the extra calories before or after you reward yourself with that Thanksgiving feast.
Hardee's newest handcrafted recipe? Candied bacon, coated with caramelized brown sugar and a hint of pepper to add a whole new level of goodness to breakfast, lunch, dinner, or anytime. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
You know, Brian, the best thing about living in Maryland and Delaware is that we can use our decks year-round.
And Nikki, Paul Davis still has time to install 10 more decks before Christmas.
Sign me up. Paul Davis's AZEC decks are the best. They don't fade or crack, even in the winter.
Our customers love our decks, and our crews are ready to install your deck so you can enjoy the holidays. Call now for your free estimate, and we'll include a fire pit free with your new deck.
Now that is a good holiday.
Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. We are the difference makers.
We decided to do up our house that we had built ourselves. We were looking for a particular company that would be on the same page we were as far as craftsmanship and take pride in a job well done. Now we're having the bathroom done, and we went with Spicer Brothers. I've never seen anything as fast and as efficient.
Unbelievable how quick he is, and for a one-man show.
He has a passion for his craft, and he's so efficient. We're just so tickled to death to have him.
So before you sign, keep Bath by Spicer Brothers in mind.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Everyone needs a roof. Secure yours with Alpha Roofing and Siding, a veteran-owned and operated business serving Delmarva for over 10 years. Roofing, siding, maintenance, and repairs, Alpha ensures quality on every project and provides peace of mind with their in-house financial advisor. Alpha offers military and senior discounts, and their unmatched 50-year material warranty is a testament to their craftsmanship. Right now, get free gutter guards with your roof replacement. Alpha Roofing and Siding, where protection comes first and setting the standard is their legacy.
You asked, Hardee's listened. Welcome home, Cinnamon Raisin Biscuit. The cinnamon icing drizzled goodness is back for the holidays. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Several races are taking place over the next few days. Many are part of a holiday tradition. The Bethany Fenwick Turkey Trot is a 2-mile run walk in downtown Bethany Beach Thursday morning. Meanwhile, Irish Eyes in Lewis has an inaugural Friendsgiving 5K. And try to outrun Mr. Gobble Gobble at the 15th annual Turkey Trek 5K on Thanksgiving Day at Pemberton Park in Salisbury. Then run off your feast at the Riley Smile Foundation Black Friday 5K and 1-mile run walk at the American Legion Post 17 in Lewis. Well, it's that time of year, holiday gatherings with food as the focal point. But if you're one of the millions of Americans with diabetes, these get-togethers can be challenging. Mandy Gaither has ways to manage diabetes while also enjoying the holidays.
Having holiday fun with family while managing blood sugar levels can be hard for those with diabetes.
You have to think ahead, you have to plan ahead, you have to think about what kind of food is going to be there.
Endocrinologist Kitty Wine with The Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center says a person will need different approaches depending on whether they have type 1 or type 2 diabetes.
The person who has type 1 diabetes has to figure out how to plan to match their insulin to their food. The person with type 2 diabetes has to ask the question of what can I eat that's healthy? How can I still have fun but not overeat?
To manage diabetes, Wine says to stick to a schedule, eat as close to regular times as possible, and pack a snack just in case. Enjoy that yummy food in moderation, but be aware of what you're eating. Some pre-meal research can help.
Oh my gosh, if you knew how much sugar was in the pecan pie, you'd probably never eat it again.
Wine says to be carb conscious and avoid sugary beverages and alcohol. If you're the cook, try fresh herbs or lemon juice instead of salt and stay active. It's important to stabilize blood sugar levels.
You don't have to go run a marathon, but just going for a walk. Going for a walk after an event can be really good for you and help to keep your sugar down.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Wine says one way to eat healthier over the holidays is to challenge friends and family with whom you're gathering to find and make a new healthy dish or find a healthier way to cook an old favorite recipe.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. Somber news today regarding a former Oriole and man forever immortalized by the Shorebirds. Ryan Miner was placed in hospice care this past weekend as he is battling stage 4 colon cancer. Twin brother Damon Miner says there's no more treatment options available for the 49-year-old. The former Delmarva skipper had his number retired back in August at Purdue Stadium. Miner's GoFundMe has already surpassed its goal of $100,000. We at DSN extend our thoughts and prayers to the whole Miner family during this time. Moving to college basketball, Elijah Wilson with UMES men's basketball scored 11 points in the Hawks' 83-80 overtime win versus Penn on Saturday, including the three-pointer that tied the game in regulation and forced OT. And then Wilson knocked down the game-winning three with 0.9 seconds remaining in overtime. Wilson shared the keys to keeping his veins on ice when coach called his name to hit the shot.
It's just a strong mentality, you know what I'm saying? You kind of got to go into the shot with a clear mind and just looking ahead, you know what I'm saying? No matter how many times you missed a shot. You know what I'm saying? You just got to rely on your training and trust it, really.
UMES men's basketball is 2-2 on the season. The Hawks are away at Notre Dame and Liberty this week. Their next home game is on December 1st at 8 p.m. versus Hampton University, and we will bring it to you live on DSN. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Thanksgiving is this Thursday, and that means the annual Thanksgiving football game. On Thanksgiving night, the 49ers are going against the Seahawks at 8 p.m. You can watch the game right here on Coast TV. There are changes in our programming for the holiday. On Coast TV, you can watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade at 8:30 a.m. Thursday. Then at noon, it's the National Dog Show, followed by the re-airing of the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade at 2 p.m., then our local Coast TV News broadcast at 5. The holiday season is here, and with it comes many fun activities for people of all ages to enjoy. One of these are enjoying the holiday lights and decorations put up all over Delmarva. That's where you come in. We would love to see how you decorate your house for the holiday season. If you look at your screen, you see it right here. You can send your pictures and your videos to coasttvnews.com/holidayhouse. We'll be right back.
New episodes of Found, Tuesday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
The Black Friday sales event has started here at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Dover. Save over $5,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ram 1500. Take advantage of $1,000 Preston Trade Assist available through November 30th. And as part of every new vehicle purchase, you'll also receive our Preston for Life lifetime engine guarantee. Visit dovercdjr.com to view our entire inventory. Don't miss out on the amazing deals and offers available only during the Black Friday sales event here at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Dover. Cars cost less with Preston.
With all the choices of services around Delmarva, where do you even begin? Trust experts of various fields offering the best of Delmarva, including Kitchen Concepts Plus, Chesapeake Eye Center, Apple Discount Drugs, Porch Protection Systems, FLC Energy, Spicer Brothers Construction, Mattress Peddlers, Homewell Care Services, Robinson's Jewelry and Coin Shop, Delmarva Acupuncture and Wellness Center, Mast Audiology Services, Riptide Restoration, Active Pest Solutions, Delmarva Day, Buchanan Subaru, and Floor Coverings International of Middle Delmarva. Delmarva experts, local experts, right when you need them.
Oh, they're out there by the millions. And spiders, crickets, and ants are always looking for a place to call home. Look, up ahead is your home. And to them, it looks like the perfect place to settle in. Call Brazier's, and our expert technicians will establish a defensive barrier around your home that will keep out the riffraff. Our premium protection plan is guaranteed to keep spiders, crickets, and ants from moving into your home for a full year. Call Brazier's Pest Control today and say goodbye to unwanted guests.
At Just Comfort Shoes, the Birkenstock store, we love hearing your Birken stories.
We've traveled the world in our Birkenstocks. Our whole family lives in our Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks have been part of my life for over 20 years.
Locally owned and operated, Just Comfort Shoes is the only Birkenstock specialty store in Delaware, offering the widest selection and latest styles, including exclusive limited editions.
And we offer superior service and expert fitting.
Visit Just Comfort Shoes in our 2 Rehoboth Beach locations and start your Birken story today.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on Coast TV.
A first ever turkey toss is raising money for local shelter pets. Out Loud Sports Rehoboth is hosting a cornhole tournament at the Crooked Hammock in Lewis on Saturday. You can compete socially or competitively or try to win a prize for best team shirt. Plus, adoptable pets from Humane Animal Partners will be present as all proceeds from this event go to that organization.
All right, our umbrella giveaway winner is actually Ann Demkowski of Milford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. We want to go over some of the things that are happening. We are expecting a first alert day for Tuesday, for tomorrow in the afternoon. But right now, we do have some active concerns for the gale wind watches in effect along the coast, which means that we're watching out for about 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts for tomorrow, going into tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. First alert day, once again, reiterating that for Tuesday. That'll go Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, which is why we have the rain here. Thanksgiving should be clear, but chilly. Same holds true for that big time shopping day. The weekend is clear of rain, but look how cold Saturday is going to be. That's what we call, very cold.
Sounds good, Paul. Thank you. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.